Okay, let's face it, we all want to have a glow up. This is what I look like before implementing all of the rules I have now. And this is what I look like now. I fixed 6 key things in my life, and those tiny changes added up to how I feel right now. Most of us will always gravitate towards buying more products in order to achieve the glow up we think we want, when actually we have so much available to us right now that 99% of us are oblivious to. Because what if I told you that in order for you to glow up, you don't need to buy another skincare product? What if I told you in order for you to have a glow coming out of your skin, literally oozing out of your body, you don't have to purchase another serum? Because here's what happens. We try new products, new routines, we switch up our diets for 2 weeks, and we think the glow up comes from all these things. We even go as far as going on a juice cleanse, literally only drinking juice, not eating any solid food, in order to achieve that glow we all are chasing. And then when none of these things work out, we blame ourselves, and then we feel bad about ourselves, we feel shitty, and the cycle repeats itself. And here's where we end the cycle. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Maryam, and on my channel we talk about all things girlhood. So that's all things self-love, becoming the best version of yourself, fashion, lifestyle, all things girlhood. And if you aren't subscribed already, I would love for you to support my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and don't gatekeep. If you feel like your best friend, or if you feel like your girly pops are going to enjoy this video, or find value in it, make sure you're sharing it with them, because hot girls don't gatekeep. You know what I mean? Let's start with something we all at one point of our lives felt very insecure about, which is our skin. Whether it's acne, whether it's hyperpigmentation, especially if you're South Asian or if you have darker skin tone, or whether it's your skin texture. At one stage of all of our lives, there was a stage where, we just didn't feel very happy with how our skin was feeling. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to discredit your skincare products that have actually helped you. There's a lot of value in skincare products. However, I'm here to challenge this whole notion that you need to add more, buy more to your routine in order to become better, when really I don't think you need new skincare products. All you really need to think about and focus on is your sleep, because if your sleep quality is not getting better and all you're doing is buying more skincare products, I promise you it's not going to help you. To give you a really good analogy, it's not going to help you to get better grades in school if all you do is buy new highlighters, new notebooks, new pens, new this, new that. Like, yes, it may look nice, it may help you, but if you're not studying the topics you need to study, you're not going to get the grades you want to get. The same thing with your overall skin health. Let's start with the very basics. If or when you don't sleep well, your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, that increases. To keep it very simple, when we're more stressed, we don't look our best. And when our cortisol levels are elevated for long periods of time, it starts to show up on our face as well. Our face feels puffier. Let me show you a very recent example for me. Back in June, I was traveling a lot. I was in different time zones and I was having a good time, of course, but it was directly impacting my sleep and my cortisol levels. And you quite literally can see how stressed my face looked in certain of my videos. It's actually crazy looking back, but that's just to give you guys a visual example of how stress literally impacts how your face looks. Think of it this way. High cortisol equals to water retention equals to that puffiness. And also high cortisol equals to more inflammation in your body, which makes you more prone to breakouts. And also, when you have higher cortisol, your body is technically stressed. It's in like survival mode. So when you're in survival mode, there's automatically no glow. And then on top of that, sleep is where your body regenerates itself. It's where your body repairs collagen. Collagen is basically that sort of scaffolding that keeps your skin looking plump. After the age of 25, I believe it is, that's when your body stops producing as much collagen. So you definitely need to be thinking about your sleep quality, because when you sleep, your body is increasing its growth hormone, which triggers collagen repair. And now this video is about glowing up internally and externally. We spoke about how it shows up externally when we don't sleep well, but when you don't sleep well, your internal brain health is also impacted. I've been wearing my Ultra Human ring for the last 2 to 3 weeks now, and my favorite thing about this ring is that when I don't sleep as well, it gives me a metric the next day about my brain waste clearance. The days it's lower, I genuinely feel it. Like, even before checking the metric, I know it's going to be lower because I can literally physically feel my brain feeling foggier, my thoughts not being as sharp. I just don't feel as good. Wearing this ring helps me track my sleep way better. I know how well while I'm sleeping. I know how much restorative sleep my body's getting. And honestly, it's not necessary to look at these metrics every day, but I just like knowing that there are results to all the efforts I'm putting in, and I can see when I'm falling off and how I can make it better. This ring over here has honestly been such a game changer. This video is not sponsored, however, I am an affiliate and I do have a discount code for you guys for 25% off, which is a very limited time Black Friday sale they're running. Usually it's only 10% off with my code, but this time it's 25% off and it's there for only a limited time. One thing I was super stressed about when I got this, if whether I was gonna be able to sleep with it, because I generally don't sleep with any jewelry at all, but it's actually surprisingly super comfortable. And it's so fascinating how this one ring over here with just one tiny sensor can track so many things about my physiology. I mean, it even showed me that my cardiovascular age is 4 years younger than my actual age. And honestly, ever since I saw that metric, I have been so gassed up. We've all heard about the lymphatic drainage system, you know, all those gua shas kind of things. Our brain has a lymphatic system as well called the glymphatic system. The brain waste clearance metric that this ring shows me how well my brain waste has been cleared the night before. And there are many things that can impact it, and we'll talk about that later in the video, but that's been my favorite metric to look at. And your brain's glymphatic system only properly switches on when you're in deep sleep. This ring also gives me a sleep score every morning, and the nights I don't sleep as well, I get to see the next morning my sleep score is lower. I always aim for it to be above 80 or 85, and if it's below that, that's when I know that I need to focus more on my sleep and ensure it's better. And I just think it's great that we can track all of that in this ring. I mean, you can track your fitness levels, your daily calorie expenditure. It even shows you active recovery. It shows you so many things, and I think it's such a great addition to your life if you're, you know, into fitness and tracking your health. And honestly, the best thing that I love is that it's a one-off purchase. It's not a recurring membership, because with a lot of wearable fitness tools out there, you have to pay a monthly or actually a yearly subscription. But with this ring, with the Ultra Human Ring Air, you don't have to do any of that. You buy it and that's it. There's no overhead fee, which I honestly love. So I'll have all the details about this ring in the description box down below if you guys are interested. And remember, we have a very limited Black Friday sale for 25% off, which is honestly crazy. You can either use my link down below or use my code at checkout. The second thing I changed in my routine to have an internal and external glow up is my meal time, especially at night. I used to be that girl who used to eat super late, maybe like 11 p.m., 11:30, and then go to bed at 12 a.m. I used to go to bed bloated, like, you know, feeling super full, and I did fall asleep, but I would never really felt super restful the next morning. I always felt like I had brain fog, and that impacted so many things, like how I worked, how willing I was to work out. It just impacted my overall mood. You're here because you care about your health and you care about your goals. You've got your vision board. There are goals that need to be achieved. You've got a lot on your plate, and I know that. The best thing you could do for yourself is to ensure you're ready every day to tackle all these things on your to-do list. And the best way to prepare for your morning is the night before. What I've learned is that when I eat 3 hours before a dinner, 2 to 3 hours, ideally 3, I go to bed light, not feeling super bloated, and I wake up the next day super fresh. There's actually science behind that, because when we do eat a heavy meal before sleeping, or when we do eat really close to our bedtime, our body is more focused on digesting the food. Your body isn't relaxing throughout the night. It's more focused on digesting the food. When your body's focus is, you know, on your gut, it's less focused on things like your glymphatic system, so you don't have proper brain waste clearance. Like, for example, 2 days ago, I had a late dinner. I had sushi and a bunch of dumplings quite late at night, maybe like 11 p.m., 10, 11. And the next morning, my brain waste clearance metric was low, and I knew exactly how I caused that. Even if you don't have an Ultra Human Ring to track all these things, you can just feel it. Because take it this way, achieving our goals and trying to be the best version of ourselves, all of this in general is hard. You know, it's not an easy task. And what I always talk about here on this channel is to remove resistance from your environment as much as you can, because you're in my brains, we're all wired to take the path of least resistance. So when we make it easier for ourselves to get our work done, and that's all facilitated by our sleeping habits, by how early we go to bed, by how early we're eating dinner. When we work on these tiny habits every single day, it honestly has such big impacts, and you feel it. The glow up that you're chasing externally is only going to be achieved when you focus on your internal world. I promise you. The third way to glow up internally and externally is through a concept that I'm sure you've come across many times, and that is gratitude. Remember how earlier in the video we were talking about our cortisol levels and how when we don't sleep great or when we have stressful moments in our lives, our cortisol levels spike up? Well, when you practice gratitude every single day, when you have a routine of it, you are changing your body's chemistry. You're an alchemist, because gratitude isn't just positive thinking. Neuroscience tells us that when you actively practice gratitude, your brain releases serotonin and dopamine, the two neurotransmitters responsible for calm, happy, and relaxed energy. But the best thing is that gratitude literally reduces your cortisol levels, that element that makes you feel puffy, that makes you feel not your best self. Practicing gratitude every single day reduces that element from your life. So when you practice daily gratitude, you're not just being a cute girly pop, you know, like the Pinterest ones. You're actually doing something scientifically proven to reduce your cortisol levels. Gratitude equals to less cortisol and clearer skin, and also better digestion. They're all linked. One thing I love doing every morning is gratitude journaling, but not gratitude journaling in the way of I'm grateful for X, Y, and Z. I don't just do 3 flat sentences. What I like to do is I like to immerse myself in the feeling. For example, I'll start with I'm grateful for how happy and grounded my cats make me feel. I'll start there, and then I'll talk more about the emotion. And I'll talk about the things I'm grateful for, but then I'll also follow up with things I'm excited about. Things like I'm excited about the fact that some of the best days of my life haven't even happened yet, and today could be one of it. I literally write down those sorts of things every single morning, and I can quite literally feel my body's chemistry changing because I believe all these things that I'm writing down. When it comes to gratitude journaling every morning, I love to talk about the things I'm grateful for whilst also immersing myself in it. I talk about the things I'm excited about, and also I talk about the things I believe I am. For example, I say I'm the kind of person who says what she's going to do and she does exactly that, and then I link it to a previous example or proof, because that just reaffirms to my brain that I can do all that I say I'm going to do because I have proof that I've done it before. You attract more things to be grateful for. You attract more things to be excited about, because that's where your body's baseline is at. Gratitude changes your emotional baseline, the state you always come back to, the emotional baseline. And the fourth thing I will tell you when it comes to glowing up internally and externally is to learn your own body, your own skin texture, hair texture. You need to learn how to create a skincare routine for your own self and not copy your favorite influencer. Yes, it sounds super obvious, but how many of us don't really know what our hair actually needs or what our skin actually needs? And now look, I'm not a girl who has an extensive skincare. All I do is cleanse and moisturize. I moisturize my skin and my under eye. I only recently started moisturizing my under eyes, and it's made such a big difference. Even nails, like I love to keep my nails natural. I love my natural nails. And also one thing I will say is to learn how to oil your hair, how to massage your scalp, because when you learn how to do that, it changes the hair care game for you. And how many of us were made fun of for having oil in our hair when we were little, but now all we see is all these influencers oiling their hair? I mean, all the Desi girlies out there, all the South Asian girlies out there have been oiling their hair since time. And that brings us to our fifth point, which is hydration. There's a reason, girly pop, that all people out there, everyone out there always talks about hydration. It's because our brain is majority water. When you don't feel sharp, try drinking a big glass of water and then try getting the work done. There will be a noticeable shift because your brain is like 70 to 75% water. When it comes to water, I will always say to try and have a jar or like a tumbler, such as a Stanley. It doesn't have to be a Stanley, but just, you know, that style of water tumbler, because that has only one step, you know, literally drinking water. One step, just a straw and a tumbler. It's one step. It's so easy to consume. Over having a bottle and a glass, that's 2 steps. I mean, yes, it sounds so trivial, but it does add up. If you read the book Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about reducing resistance and making things as easy for you to do. So when you drink out of a tumbler, it's way easier for you to consume more water. If you don't believe me, try it. It doesn't have to be a Stanley, but anything that looks similar to it. Because when we don't drink enough water, it also impacts collagen, and dehydration makes you age faster because that leads to less collagen production and repair. And the sixth way in order to ensure you're having an internal and external glow is to get organized. Get organized with your routine, with your sleep habits, with your eating habits, with your work related stuff. Get organized and reduce the mental clutter in your head. Here's a picture of a very messy desk, of a very cluttered space, and here's a picture of a very organized, cutesy, Pinterest-like desk. All I want to do is ask you which one is making you feel more creative and more inclined to work. And there's a reason for it. We're more inclined to get the work done, to do the things we're meant to do when we're in a space that is enhancing our creativity and how we feel. Having a routine is equivalent to having self-respect, because you respect yourself enough to do the work that you're meant to do. And now, I'm not here to tell you that to have a very strict routine and be robotic every single day, because no one can live in that way. But what I will say is to have a baseline, have a list of bare minimum things you have to do every day, and then be flexible enough with yourself to be able to rejig them depending on your energy levels, depending on where you are in your cycle. Because us females, we're not robotic every single day. We don't have the same physiology every single day like men do. So we need to have more grace, you know, we need to be a bit more lenient in that regard. But it's still super important to have a baseline routine that you can always fall back to, because you need that in order to be productive every single day, because it takes a lot of mental energy, a lot of mental load to start from zero every single day, to start from scratch. But it's way easier if you have a resting or remaining routine. Prime your environment in a way that will help you get your work done, because that's going to build self-trust. And self-trust is an elite quality to have, because that's the kind of thing that's not bought. It's built in the mundane. It's built in the daily repetitive activities that we do to show ourselves self-respect, to show ourselves care. And when you have self-trust, your glow is completely different, because you walk and you move differently in the world, because you know you're always going to be there for yourself to ensure you're achieving what you need to do. All right, besties, and those were the 6 ways to glow up internally and externally. And lastly, I want to remind you that the Ultra Human sale is only live for a few days. Their Black Friday sale is a very limited deal, and it's honestly their best deal yet. 25% off with my code. I'll have all the details for you down below. I love you girlies so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.